This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. We will be starting our next topic, that is navigation. Navigation in SAP. Okay. So basically here in this session we will be covering how to log in, how to perform transactions, how to log off. So those basics we will be covering in this session. Okay. So the topics that we are going to cover, we will see what is SAP GUI icon, how to log into SAP, SAP easy access screen for all modules. Okay, initial screen, nothing but easy access screen means initial screen. Menu path for transactions, how to access the transactions in the system, we will see. SAP screen structure, how the SAP screen structure looks like, we will see that. Then what are favorite transactions, how to add favorite transactions. The, please be unmute. Please be unmute. Whenever you have any questions, just unmute and then ask. Okay, then types of fields, what are the different types of fields? Okay, and then multiple SAP sessions, how to work with multiple SAP sessions, we will see. Then F1 field help and F4 search, what are these two, what is their use, significance, we will see. And finally we will see how to log off it from the system. So these are the topics we will be covering in the today's session, SAP navigation. So first we will start with the logging on to the SAP system. Okay, so to log on to the SAP system, first you should have the SAP logon pad installed on your system, desktop or laptop or whatever. Okay, this logon pad you should have. Okay, so once you have this logon pad installed, you need to first double click. Then when you double click, you will be getting this one, this logon pad, where you need to select your server, the server to which you want to log on, select it, and just you can click on the log on button. The moment you click on this log on button, you will be getting the login screen where it will ask you to enter your user ID and password. It is same like you log into Gmail or ready for Gmail or those things. So you will have a user ID and password, right? So same thing here. You need to enter your user ID and password. So when you enter your user ID and password, then you will be getting the initial screen, SAP Easy Access screen. It is nothing but the home screen or initial screen. Normally when you go to any website, you will get a uh, home page, right? First initial page, we call it as home page. So here same like in SAP, it is called as SAP Easy Access screen, nothing but initial screen. Okay, so let me show you. Log off from the system. Okay, let me log in again. So sorry, let me start from the scratch. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay, you have the logon pad here. You see, it is there. So for what you need to do is you just double click. Once you double click, you will get this window. Here you have 4 5 servers, but you normally in your system you will have only one. Select that one. Either you double click. When you double click, that screen will come, or another one is you select it, and here you see there is a button log on. Sometimes you may find this side that log on button, this side, or it depends. So there will be a button called log on. So you need to click on it. So once you click on that, you will be getting this screen, initial login screen. So where you need to enter your user ID and password. So I'll enter my user ID and I'll enter my password. Okay. Now, when you enter, you will be getting the initial screen. Okay. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Normally you will get like this. Okay, so this is a screen. Here you see, you can see SAP Easy Access screen, nothing but initial screen. Okay, uh, wherever if you feel that I'm going too fast, uh, then you immediately stop me. Okay, okay, normally I'll be going in slow pace only, but still if you find it fast, then immediately you stop. Okay, and one more thing I just wanted to highlight: in the training your main focus should be on understanding the concepts, not on the transaction flow. Actually, today we will not be doing any transactions, but in upcoming sessions we will be doing the transactions. So your everything I will show it in the system. It's a hands-on training, but your main focus should be on understanding the concepts, not on the transaction. Okay, not on the transaction flow. Okay, anyhow, I will be recording these sessions. I'll share the recorded sessions, then you can go through them whenever you want, but your main focus during this training on understanding the concepts, what we are doing, why we are doing, when you do this what happens, that you have to understand. All the transactions, all the functions we are performing in this system normally in the real time will be done by the end users, not by us. We are consultants. We will be doing the background settings, backend settings. So first we will discuss all the front end part, and then we will go to the backend settings and configuration. So what I wanted to highlight is your focus should be on understanding the concepts, not on the transaction flow. Okay, I will show that doesn't mean that I will not show anything in the system. Everything we will see it in the system, but still you should, your approach should be why we are doing this transaction. uh, who does this transaction? When we do this transaction, what will happen? Why we need to do this? So those kind of things, in that perspective you need to focus in the training. Okay, so we have logged in. This is how you log in. Okay, so now once after the login, now we will see how to navigate in the SAP system. Okay, so you have you have several options for navigating in an SAP system. Okay, first method: enter the transaction code in the command field. First method. Okay, choose items from the menus in the menu bar. Second option. Second method: choose items from the favorite list or from the role based user menu. So the three methods are: suppose first method, once you log in, I want to do some action. I want to perform some function. Here you see there is a window. This is called command field. Okay, it is called, that window is called, you will be using regularly this one. It is called command field. Command field. This one. This box. You see this box here. This box. So here you enter your T code directly. Suppose let's say I'll enter IW20. If you know the T code, you can enter directly here and then click on this button, enter. You see, or you can enter, you can click on the enter button on your keyboard. Okay, so enter. Now it will take you to that particular transaction, IW20. This is one method, simple method. Okay, suppose you don't know the transaction code. Suppose I am working for the past 12 years. I know some, I remember some of the transaction codes, but you don't know the transaction code, or you don't know where it is. Then the other method is you can go through the menu. So how to go through the menu path? Second option, you have the logistics folder here. Open the folder, open it. Then we are learning plant maintenance. Go to plant maintenance folder, open this folder. Okay, then maintenance processing, open this folder. Okay, then notification, open this folder, IW21, double click. So this is through menu path. Second method, choose items from the menus in the menu bar. Okay, or another one is choose items from the favorite list. This one here, if you see, there is a favorites option is there. There is a favorites folder. As of now I have not added anything into this favorite folder. If you add any transactions here, there you can double click. This we will discuss when we go to the favorites topic. Okay, so methods are: one is put the transaction code directly in the command field, or you go through the entire menu path, or using the favorites folder. Three methods are available. This is how you will navigate in the system. Suppose now this menu bar is open, right? Expanded, right? Now to close this, collapse this, simply just click on this button. Here you see there is a button, small button, SAP menu. Click on that. Now again it got collapsed. Okay, so these are the three methods of navigating in the system. These are the ones. These are the ones. Either you put the transaction code in the command field, method one, or go through the entire SAP Easy Access or favorite list, go through these folders, okay, or you can use the menu option. This also we will discuss later. Another option. There are some at the top you have some icons, right. Using this also you can navigate. This we will discuss shortly. We'll discuss shortly. Okay, this is how you navigate in the SAP system. So now we'll understand what are transactions. So transactions are application programs that execute business processes in the SAP system. So in SAP, any function, any action, any activity you want to do, you will be using the transactions. Transactions. Okay. Suppose here you see, I want to create a notification. I want to create a notification. Then the transaction is create notification. Okay, let me show you again. Go to logistics, go to plant maintenance, go to maintenance processing, notification. This is the one. Create notification. This is a transaction. Okay, that is a transaction. So any activity you want to do in SAP, you have to use transactions. Okay, every transaction or function in the SAP system has a transaction code. Now every transaction will have a transaction code. Okay, suppose my transaction is create notification. Create notification. So this will have a T code called IW20. Normally, any in SAP, normally standard transaction code will be four characters. Four characters. Four characters. Suppose let's say I want to create a work order. Create order, work order, maintenance order. The T code is IW30. IW30. So this is the transaction and this is its T code. T code. Okay. Initially, you will not be able to remember the T codes, but as you work along with the system, then you will be able to remember the important and most widely used transaction codes. You will easily remember. Okay. So what you need to understand is for every transaction there will be a transaction code attached to it. Okay. You can enter you can enter the transaction code in the command field to initiate the transaction. That's what I showed you. Okay, so this is the one. You just simply enter. If you know the T code, instead of going through this entire menu path, if you know the T code, just enter in the command field IW20. Enter. This is the most widely used method. Initially, you will find it difficult to remember some T codes, but after some time, you will be able to remember the T codes easily. You will come here, you will come here, and you will enter. That's what it says. This is probably this is probably one of the most direct ways to initiate a transaction. Okay, this is most widely used method. Okay, so this one we discussed already, how to navigate in the system, three methods. Okay, now we will talk about SAP screen structure, how the screen structure of the SAP looks like. Okay, so let me go to a transaction as of now. Go to IW21. Okay, we'll use a notification type. Enter. Okay, so this is the SAP screen structure. Okay, now we will discuss one by one. First one, the command field we discussed already. This is the command field we discussed already. Okay, we will discuss this menu bars, all these things later. So normally in SAP, data is arranged in tabs, tab page. You simply call tabs. So here you see documentation is a tab, address is a tab, logon data is a tab. All these are called tabs. Okay. Inside the tab, you will have the subscreens. Here you see this is a subscreen. This is a subscreen. Spool control is a subscreen. Personal time zone is a subscreen. These are called subscreens. Under the subscreen, you will have the fields. These are fields. Start menu is a field. Logon language is a field. So here in our case, if you see, this notification is a tab. Reference object is a tab. Malfunction breakdown is a tab. Location data is a tab. All these are called as tabs. TAB, tabs. Now, inside the tab, you will have the subscreen. So you see here, reference object is a subscreen. Subject is a subscreen. Okay. Then responsibilities is a subscreen. Start and end dates, these are called subscreens. So how they are arranged is you have tabs. Some people call tab pages also, but normally they will call tabs. Under the tabs, you will have subscreen. Subscreen. Under the subscreen, you have the fields. Fields. Okay. So these are fields now. These are fields. Functional location is a field. Equipment is a field. Assembly is a field. These are called as fields. Okay. This is how normally you will see the SAP screen structure. Okay. So now we will come to this checkboxes, radio buttons. We will discuss shortly. Okay. So all these start menu, logon language, these are called input fields, or some normally they will call it as fields where you maintain the data information. In the fields you will maintain the data. Okay. This is how SAP screen structure looks like. Okay. Command field we already discussed. You can start applications directly by entering the transaction code in the command field. I already showed you. Next one, tab page. This is what we discussed. A tab page comprises of several screen areas organized as tabs for clarity and ease of access. So tab page consists of some subscreens. Okay, and in the subscreens you will have the input fields. Input fields are used to enter text or select a value from a list. I will show you this. So normally in the fields you will maintain the data. Okay. Now we will talk about checkboxes and radio buttons. So if you see here, in this transaction we don't have checkboxes, but let me show you some other. If you go to IH08, IH08, you go to this transaction. We have checkboxes here. No, right? Okay. Let me go to some other transaction. MB56. This transaction will give. Now, if you see here in this transaction, here you see there is a subscreen called type of expansion. What you see here? You see here there are circles. These are called radio buttons. Okay, radio buttons. Radio buttons are used with single selection fields. You can only select. You can select only one option. That means system has selected top-down analysis. But if I try to select bottom-up analysis, what happened? What happened? System immediately deselecting the top-down analysis. Suppose now again if I try to select top-down analysis, system is deselecting bottom-up analysis. That means during the radio buttons, in radio buttons you can only select one. You cannot select more than one. That is radio button. Radio buttons. Now you have checkboxes. Here you see these are checkboxes with the square symbol. So in case of checkboxes, you can select more than one. Checkboxes are used with multiple selection fields. That means you can select more than one. So here you see already two are selected. From this I can select more than one. You see I can select all. That is the difference between radio buttons and checkboxes. Okay. Till this part clear, or any questions so far? Or is this speed is okay? Especially Priya and Kartika. Is this okay, or am I going too much?
Yeah, it's okay, Shavan. I don't have any issues. It's okay for me.
Who is this Kartika? Who is this Kartika? Is it?
No, that was Priya, and I am good with this, Shravan. Let me
Yeah,
see
yeah.
the recording, so it will be okay, I think.
Yeah, yeah. See, what I observed is you two people are totally new to SAP, right? So that's the reason I'm going very
Yeah, correct.
slowly, actually. Okay. Wherever you find it difficult or not able to understand, immediately you stop.
Yep, sure.
Okay. Okay. So that is the difference between checkbox and radio. Okay. So why we are discussing all these things is when you start working on SAP, suppose let's say you share your screen, somebody will say you go to that tab, then you are confused where to go to the tab. Okay, suppose let me go to IW29. So if I go to, you are in the screen, somebody will ask you go to items tab. Then you are confused. Where is this tab actually? This is the tab, item tab. You have to go here. So you should know those terms, tab, subscreen, fields, all those things you should know. Okay. So let's continue. This is what we just discussed. Okay. So the screens normally will have tabs. These are called tabs. Under the tabs, you will have subscreen. This is a reference object is a subscreen. Subject is a subscreen. Under the subscreen, you have the fields. These are the fields, input fields, where you maintain some information. Maintain some information. Data. Nothing but data. Okay. So now we will talk about the uh, interface icon buttons. Okay. So normally, whenever you are working, when you go to a field, when you go to a field, by default that field will get highlighted with yellow color. A yellow highlighted box is the active field where your cursor currently lies. Okay, so the moment you put a cursor on a field, that field will get updated, will get highlighted with yellow color. Okay, suppose if you see here, let me go to notification. Now I am keeping my cursor in the functional location field. Now observe carefully what's going to happen. What happened? It color got changed to it color got changed to yellow color. Okay, suppose if I put the cursor on the in the field equipment, see now it is into yellow color. Now the functional location is now again become white. So the field where your cursor lies, that's get highlighted with yellow. Okay, so that is a one. Okay, now sometimes you will have some drop downs for some fields. For some fields you will have this drop down checkbox, drop down symbol. Drop down fields denote a drop down list of standardized selectable items. Okay, for some fields you will have this drop down. Okay, so let me show you this. If you scroll down, here you see there is a priority. There is a priority field is here. So it is having drop down from where you have to select. For some fields you will have this drop down option. Okay, next required field, mandatory field. Okay, so now you will not enter information or data in all the fields, only few fields, but there are some fields are mandatory required field. Every required field will have this symbol. You see here, it's a mandatory field. Required fields contain a box with check mark icon and must be completed to finish the transaction. So you have, once this field is a required field, you have to enter the information. Otherwise, system will not allow you to go further. Okay, so let me show you this. Here, here of course we don't have mandatory field. Okay, let me go to another transaction. I'm going to this transaction, create equipment. Suppose if I remove this, what do you observe? Equipment category, you see there is a check mark icon is coming. That means this field is mandatory. Suppose if I don't enter anything here, if I try to continue, if I try to continue, you will get an error. Fill out all required entry fields because this is a mandatory field. This field is not mandatory. Equipment field is not mandatory, but equipment category is mandatory. So in the required field, you have to enter the data. Otherwise, you cannot continue further. Okay, so that those are called mandatory fields. Mandatory fields. Okay. Next one is the match code button. Match code button. Okay. So for some fields, on the right side, you will see this symbol, match code button. This button is called match code button. Match code button. Match code is a button to the right of a selected field where defined lists or search options are available. So if you see this field, or if I go to this field, you see there is a match code button. So from this you can select the value. Click on that button. You will get the list of values allowed for this field. So here what are there? A, B, E, these are the values. Suppose if I take E, it will allow. It will allow. That's okay. There is some other enter. Put M. I'll put M. Okay. Enter. Now it is allowing. So that means that M is there in that list. That M is there in this list. Suppose in this list C is not there. You see, A, B, E, G is there. D is there. D for Delhi or D is not there. So if I try to enter a value which is not in the list, again you will get error. See, equipment category D is not supported. So for match code button will give you the list of values allowed for that field. Only these are the values allowed. The value which is not there in this, if you enter it, it will throw error. Okay, so that is match code button. So now let's continue. In some screens, you will see this multiple selection button. Multiple selection button. Okay, so let me show you. Suppose if I go to any report, let's say I'll go to IH08. IH, please be on mute. A lot of background noise is coming. Please be on mute. Okay. So now you see these are some of the what do you say? This is a report. Now here you see in this report there is a button here. You see multiple selection button. You see here with arrow mark. So these are called. The moment you put the cursor on that, it will show you multiple selection. So what is this multiple selection means? You can enter more than one value in the fields. So to enter more than one value, click on this multiple selection. Here you can enter more than one. So multiple selection will give you the options to enter more than one value. More than one value. Okay. And checkboxes and radio buttons we discussed already. We discussed. We discussed this. Okay. So let's continue. Now we will talk about favorites. Okay. So what is favorites means? You can add the transactions which you perform frequently to this transaction folder so that you don't need to remember the T code or no need to enter the T code on the command field or no need to go through this entire menu path. Not required. It will save your time. Favorites basically. The transactions which you perform regularly, frequently, those you can add it as favorites. Okay. So let me show you how to add favorite. So let us go to initial screen again. Now we are in this screen. So let's say every day I will create a notification. Okay, so then you add that to favorites. So what you do, the method to add to favorites is go to favorites on the top. Here you see insert transaction. Click on this. You will get this pop-up box. Here you enter the T code IW21. See, now the transaction got added as favorites. So next time when you log in, it will be available. Then you can just double click on it. Okay, I'll do one thing. I will log off. I will log off. I have logged off. Again, I'm logging in. See, now when I logged in, you see the transaction code is now available here in the favorites. You just double click, finish. No need to enter here. No need to enter here in the command field, or no need to go through the menu path, entire menu path, or no need to remember the transaction code. Just double click. I'll add one more. Okay, I will add one more. Go to favorites, insert transaction, IEIW31 order. One more got added. Even you can add a folder also. Suppose to add a folder, go to favorites, insert folder. Let's say master data. Master data. I'm creating a folder. Master data folder. Inside the folder, you can add the transactions. Again, here from the folder, you can right click. Okay, insert transaction. You add here IE01. Create equipment. I'll add one more. Select the folder. Go to favorites. Insert transaction. Let's say IR01. It works. So like this, inside also you can create new folders, and in that folders you can add the transactions. This is favorites. They will make your life easy. Okay, so that is favorites. Okay, let's continue. Now the next one is role-based menu. This normally you will not be able to see in this system. It's a training system, right? Okay, but normally in the industries, what happens is according to the user role, the functions he is performing, they will give access to only to few transactions, not all the transactions. Okay, suppose if you see this is a training system, we have access to everything. Okay, but in real time, the user will not have access to all the transactions, only particular few transactions according to his role. Suppose let's say he is a planner. Planner will have a what do you see access to only these two T codes, whereas the technician or maintenance supervisor, he will have a access to T code called IW40, confirmation of the order. So according to their role, they will give access authorization to only few transactions, not all. Okay, if it doesn't have it access to a transaction, when he double clicks on it, normally you are going to the transaction, but in the at the bottom he will get a error. You are not authorized to use this transaction. Okay, so that error will come. Okay, of course this is a training system. We have everything. We have access to all the T codes in this system. Real time, you will have a lot of authorizations, a lot of restrictions actually. Okay, so that is a role based menu. So let's continue. Next one, status bar. So at the bottom in any SAP screen, normally you will be getting types of messages, two types of options. One is system messages. I will come to the system messages shortly. Next one is you will have system information. At the right side bottom, you will have system information. Okay, so this is the one. See here, this is the one. At the right side bottom, suppose you see there is a triangle button. If I want to close this, you can close this. If you want to expand, again click on the triangle button. It gets expanded. So here, if you click on this drop down button, you can see what is the system you have logged in, what is the client, what is your user ID. My user ID is S4 HANA 312. And if you are in a transaction, it will show you the T code also. Suppose let I go to IE01. Now, if I go here, you see it will show you the T code also, which transaction here you are in, and what is the program of the transaction. Everything you can see. And here now it is showing the transaction code, but I want my user ID to show here. So then what you see, you select user here, then it will show the user ID. Which one you want to see here from this list? From this list you can select. Suppose let's say I want to see the client, and you select client. That is your wish. Okay, so this basically at the right side bottom you will get the system information. This is the system information. Okay, that is one. I will come to these messages in a minute. Okay, now the next one is we will see now some of the shortcuts, some of the methods available for used during the transaction execution. First one, /n cancels the current transaction in the command field. Suppose if you see, I'll go to this transaction. Now I am in this transaction. I want to come out of this. Normally what people will do, they will start click on this button back one. You got the one pop-up box. Data will be lost. Save first. No, you got into this screen. Again, you have to click on back. So how many clicks I did? Around 3 to 4, I believe. But let's say again, I'll go to IE01 inside. Now I want to go to directly to the initial screen at one step, in one step. So what you can do in the command field, just type slash and enter. Directly it will take you to the main page, easy access screen. No need to click on those 4 clicks. Okay, so that is slash. Cancels the current transaction immediately. Next one, slash n followed by the new transaction code. So this one, suppose let's say I am in this transaction. Okay, now I want to cancel this transaction. I want to go to another transaction immediately. Normally what people will do, they'll click on this back button. Not required. What you do, slash n followed by the new transaction you want to access. So my new transaction is, let's say, IW31. So what happens is slash n followed by the new transaction code. What system does is it will close this transaction. Immediately it will open other transaction. Now just click on it. See, old one got closed. System has opened a new one immediately. That will save your time. Slash n followed by the transaction. Next one, slash o. This will give you the overview of a session. Okay. Suppose I am in this transaction, type slash o. It will give you information about the transaction. Transaction is create order, at what time you are executing, all those things you will get. Overview of the session. Okay. Next one, slash o triple A followed by the new transaction code. What this does is initiate the specified transaction in a new session. Okay. So here what happens is, suppose let's say I'm in this transaction. I want to work along with another transaction parallelly, simultaneously. So what people will do, normally they'll click on this button, create new session. I'll come to this create new session again. So another session is opened. Now two sessions are there. So now here what they do, they will enter the T code, IE01, creating. So now two sessions are open. But instead of doing these two clicks, what you can do, from the initial screen, let me close this. From the one screen, I am in this transaction. In another session, I want to open a transaction directly. So what you can do, slash O followed by the new transaction, IE01. Now system will immediately open this transaction in another session directly. See, it has opened directly. Now two sessions are there. One is create order, one is creating. So that is the importance of slash O. Okay, and the remaining three we will discuss at the end. Okay, during log off we will discuss these three. When we go to log off session, log off function. Okay, so now the next one is types of messages. Okay, so when you are working with SAP, you will be getting three types of messages. One is error message. It comes with red color. Next one is information message. It comes with green color. Another one is warning message. It comes with yellow color. Okay. First, error message means it indicates a problem that must be corrected before continuing. Okay. So error message means system will stop you. System will not allow you to go further until you solve that problem. Okay. So let me show you this here. Same thing, create equipment. I have not entered equipment category. Now if I try to continue, you see, what is the error? What is the error? Can anyone read the error? Kartika or Priya, what is the error at the bottom?
Fill out all required entry field. So this one is a mandatory. So we need
Uh,
to fill out.
so what is the color? Color of the message?
Is
Red.
yellow, red,
No, no,
red.
red color. So now, once you get this, how many times you enter, you cannot go further. System will not allow you to continue. You have to rectify that problem. So what it says, you enter some data here. So let me enter M, and then Now if you enter, now it is allowing to go further. So red color means it will system will stop you. Okay. Now let me show you warning message. Huh? I'll select 01. Okay. See, this is a mandatory field, MRP type. You see, controller, lot size. Okay, now observe carefully. I'll enter. Now I am in MRP2 tab view. Okay, now the moment I try to continue to go to MRP3, what message I am getting at the bottom? Can somebody read?
Yeah, this is in-house production time is 0.
What is a color? Yellow.
It's
Correct?
yellow, yeah. Okay.
So yellow means what happens is system will say that there is some problem, but still without correcting it, you can continue further.
Okay.
Indicates there may be a problem with the data you have entered. You may have to correct the problem before continue. If you correct the problem, okay, but even without correcting it, still system will allow you to go further. System will allow you to continue. That is yellow warning message. Okay, so now you see here in this case what it says. You have not entered anything here. He says it is 0. You enter something here. If I enter something, it's okay, but still I can continue further. Enter. See, now it is taking you to the next tab. So that is warning message. Now information message, you don't have to do anything. It is just a information. Information message comes with green color. No action is required. It is just a information. That's all. So here, if you see, I'll save this. Now the moment I save, you see, you observe carefully. On the top there is a button, save button, floppy button, save. Now what message you get at the bottom? Material 5 something created. What is the color? Green color. Color is green. Green means information message. You don't have to do anything. Okay. So normally when you are working on SAP, you will be getting these messages with these colors. Okay. Some people, what I observed is even when they get a warning message, they will stop and they will be thinking what to do now. Whenever you get warning message, simply just enter one more time. That's it will allow you to continue further. But error you cannot do anything. You have to correct that error. Okay. So now we will talk about multiple logons and multiple sessions. Okay. So now in the SAP you have this option. Same user ID you can log in one more time. One more time. Okay. If the same user logs on more than once, then for each subsequent logon, the system displays a warning message that offer the users the following three options. Okay. Suppose I have logged in already. I have logged in already with my ID. What is my ID? S4312. S4312. I have already logged in. Suppose if I try to log in again, you see what will happen. Again, I'm trying to log in with the same user ID again. What message I'm getting? I'm getting, of course, only two options. Normally, you will get three options. If the multiple logons are allowed, you will get one more option here actually. So what system is saying? Continue with this logon and end any other logons in the system. So system is saying system is saying you already logged into the system already. You see, user already logged on. So whether you want to close that one and you want to continue with this one, or you want to terminate this log, what you want to do. Why we are getting only two options here? The reason is in this system multiple logons are not allowed. The security team has made that setting. If it is allowed, you will get one more option here to have multiple logons, but it is not normally not allowed. It is against SAP this thing SAP restrictions. That means you want to manage with only single ID. If you want to manage with multiple logons, that is against SAP rules actually. Okay. So now you see if I select the second option, continue. See the old one got closed. The old one got closed. Old one got locked down. So that is the one. So you have this one. Continue with this logon and end any other logons of this user in the system. That is what I showed you. This I cannot show because in the system not allowed. Continue with this logon without ending any other logons in the system. This is tracked. This is normally not allowed. Very rarely you will see. SAP will track this actually. Okay. Another one is terminate this logon. System is saying already you logged on. Why you want to log in again? So you don't want to continue with this. Then you terminate. That is what you will get. Okay. This is multiple logons. Now we will talk about multiple sessions. Okay, so in SAP, at the same time you can work with multiple sessions, not only one screen. Here I have only one screen. So in the screen, I am creating a equipment. Okay, at the same time, I want to execute some report. My manager asked me one report. I want to execute a report in another session parallelly, simultaneously. I want to save my time. So in that case, you go for multiple sessions. Okay, so this is the one. You can have multiple sessions. Normally, 6 sessions are allowed at a time. 6. So to open multiple sessions, there are two methods. One is you click on this button. You click on this button. One option. I'll show you this. Another option is you go to the system and click on this option. New GUI window. New GUI window. Okay. Okay. Suppose I am in this screen. I am creating equipment. Now at the same time, parallelly, I want to execute one report. So to open one more session, you see there is a button here, create new session. The moment you move the cursor to that button, it will show you, creates new session. Click on that. Now it has opened another session. See, there are two sessions. Now I want to open another session. Another option is go to system, new GUI window. Click on this. See, now three sessions are open. One, two, three. I want to open one more. Click on this. Now how many are there? Four. One, two, three, four. I want to open one more. Five. One, two, three, four, five. Oh, I want to open one more. Now how many? Six are open. One, two, three, four, five, six. Now if I try to open one more, you will get a message. Maximum number of GUI sessions reached. So normally more than six is not allowed. Normally. Okay. Now in different sessions, you can perform different functions. Different functions. Okay. So let's continue. Now the next one is using help and personalizing interfacing. Okay, using help and personalizing user interface. So there are two help options. One is F1 field help. F1 is used to find help on fields, menus, functions, and messages. F1 help also provides technical information on the relevant field. Relevant field. Okay, so F1 field means F1 field. Suppose if you go to IA01, okay, you have this equipment category. That's okay. Let me enter. Suppose I want to know about this field, object type. What is this field? Why it is used? What is the significance of this field? So to know that, what you do, you put the cursor on the field, press F1 on your keyboard. Okay, I'll press F1 on my keyboard. Okay. It will open a pop-up box. It will give you what is this field, type of technical object, key that describes the type of technical object. I'll open one more field. We don't have proper this one. Wait. Let me show you one another field. Sometimes it is behaving strangely. Okay, just give me one minute. go to M01. Suppose you have a field here. You have a field here. See material group. I want to know what is this field, why it is used. So put the cursor on that. Press F1 on your keyboard. You see material group definition. What is this field? Why it is used? All that information you will get over here. Okay, that is the use of F1. F1. So that is the moment you put the cursor on that field and press F1 on your keyboard, you will get a pop-up box with all the information about that field. What is that field? Why it is used? Its significance, all that you will get. Okay, and also you can go to technical information. This I will show you later. This I will show you later. Okay, next one is F4. F4 is nothing but your allowed values, possible entries, allowed values for that field. Same like the moment you click on match code button, whatever the list you get, that you can directly get by pressing F4 on your keyboard. Nothing but your allowed values. So here, same. If you see here, same. I am in the field material group. So to see the allowed values, what we are doing, we are clicking on this match code button. Correct? Correct? Other, instead of that, what you can do, just type, press F4 on your keyboard. Okay. It is something different. I press the F4 on my keyboard. Now same thing has come. So that is the importance of F4. It gives the allowed values. Instead of clicking on that match code button, you can click on the F4 uh, button on your keyboard. Then it will open the possible values allowed for that field. That is the use of F1 and F4. Brilliant. Okay, now the next one is menu system and help. So normally in the SAP is two, but system and help. These will be available on any screen. Both of these menus are available on every screen and always offer exactly the same options. So you go to any screen, any T code or any screen, you will have these two, system or help. Suppose if I go to IE01, IE01, okay, if I go inside, these will change. These will change, but the system and help will be available on any screen. And from that, you can perform some functions. Go to system, you can do anything, whatever you want. Okay, and help, these two, these two. Let me log in. Okay, so that is the use of menu and help. So system, these options, and help, these options. That is a help. Okay, now the next one is user specific personalization. So here, user specific personalization means you can make some settings as per your requirement. Okay, suppose I have this favorites folder. Now it is at the top. I want to move this to the bottom. That kind of settings you can do. Okay, so let me show you. So now favorites folder is at the top. I want to move this to the bottom. So what you do, go to extras, settings. You will get this pop-up box here. Display favorites at the end of the list. Okay, now continue. Now what happened? Favorites folder moved to the bottom. You can do that. Now if you see, if you observe, now it is showing only the transaction. It is not showing the T code. See, it is not showing the T code, only transaction it is showing. It is showing only the transaction, not the T code. Now I want to display both T code also. Then again, go to extras, settings, display technical names. Now it will show you the T code also. See, now it is showing T code also. Now again, I want to move this back to the top. Then again, go to extras, settings. Now deselect this option. Display favorites at end of list. Now deselect this checkbox. Continue. So now again it is moved to top. So that kind of settings you can do. That kind of settings you can do. Okay, and there are some other settings you can do based on the options. You can change the color, you can change this color, all those things you can do. Here you see there is a button here, customize local layout. Click on this, you go to options, you can change some settings over here. You can change a theme. Now you have a SAP signature theme. Let me show you. Let me change this to some other theme, trade show theme. Okay, apply. Okay, now you see the moment I log off, it will come totally different actually. Even you can change the color also. Hold on. Now it will come in different this thing. See, now it is coming differently. You see, S4 HANA. Now screen is also somewhat different. If you observe, it is not like the earlier one. Screen somewhat different. You see, screen somewhat different. So that kind of settings also you can do. But anyhow, let me go back to my original one. I don't like the other ones. I like only this SAP signature theme. Apply, and you can increase the font size also. You can increase the font size. Current font size is 12. Courier font style is Courier. You can change your, you can increase the font size, you can decrease the font size, you can change the font style. All those things you can do it here. You have to explore this. Okay, but anyhow, I'll go back to my original SAP signature theme. Apply. Okay, let me log off, close. Now I will get my original one. See, I got my original one. You see, the look is different. Again, I'm logging in. Okay, so that is, you can do settings as per your requirement, user according to your user, and this whatever you do that will be applicable only for your user ID, not for others. User specific. Okay. Next one is SAP Help Portal. Suppose you want to know something about your plant maintenance module or any other module you want to study. Okay, all those things. Then you have this SAP Help Portal, help.sap.com. Okay, so this is the one. You have to go to that website basically. So go to your web browser, go to your web browser and type help.sap.com. Wait, hold on, it will take time. Okay, so this is the one, help.com, sap.com. So here you can search for your content of all the modules will be there here. Then you can search and you can go to that particular topics. This will be very useful to learn the new things. Okay, this is help.sap.com. I'll go to home page actually. This is the home page actually. Products. You have to explore this website basically, help.sap.com. Okay. Now the next one is, last option is how to log off from the system. So now normally even in our other websites like Gmail or your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, what you do after once you complete your work, you log off, right? Nowadays everybody is accessing through mobile phones, all these ones. But normally in the older days, you, let's say you go to Facebook, you complete your work. Once you finish off everything, then you will log off, right? And even in your Gmail also, any emails, once you complete your work, then you log off, right? Here also same thing. Once you complete you have to log off from the system. So there are two methods to log off. One is go through this system and click on this one, log off. Okay, so when you click on this, you will get this pop-up box. Unsaved data will be lost. Do you want to log off? Yes, you have to click on this. Another method is, this is method one. Another method is, second method is, on the command field you type /n-ex. But if you use this option, you will not get this pop-up box. You will not get this. Okay. Let me show you. So now I am, let's say I am in IA 0. Now I want to log off. So first option is go to system, log off. You will get this pop-up box. Unsaved data will be lost. Do you want to log off? Yes. That is one method. Another method is, let me log in again. Okay, I have logged in. Let me go to one transaction. I want to log off. Simply in the command field /n ex. Enter. That's all. Directly logged off. So you will not get that pop-up box to save or unsave. So these are the two options you normally people will use to log off. Okay, so and here will we have anything to discuss? /n ex we discussed, and /n end ends the logon session with a confirmation dialog box. So this is the one. Again, let me go to this one. It will end that particular session, I believe. Okay, suppose I am in IA 01. Okay, enter inside. Now if you type /n end end, okay, enter. You will get that pop-up box. Do you want to log off? Yes. That is the one. These are the options. Okay. So with this, we are done with the basic SAP navigation. So we have discussed like how to log on, how to log off, what is a SAP screen structure looks like, how to add favorites, how to change the settings, what are the fields, mandatory fields, optional fields, everything we have discussed. What is radio buttons, what is checkboxes, all those things, how to work with multiple sessions, all those things we have discussed in this session.